that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really tripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I get to squeeze and leave a nigga. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really tripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I get to squeeze and leave a nigga bleeding. Raw Molly got me all up in demon mode. Mouth moving like I done put clean in my nose. Trying to catch me up, I can leave with some hoes. He standing straight up, watch I make him lean with this pole. Would've thought he was closed, how that heat made him fold. Thought it was a game, he won't think no more. His brain's gone, nigga. It be exciting when I get the strike. And guns sound like thunder, hit you like lightning. Fight for your life, we don't do no fighting. We really hit it, nigga. We worse than savage, they calling us Vikings. Police be riding, we still be sliding. Told you we hitters, remember the time. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really tripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I get the squeeze and leave a nigga bleeding. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really tripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I get the squeeze and leave a nigga bleeding. Hop out and leave them holding like the Bible. AR-15, that's a high-power rifle. A in the army and assassinate rivals. Break that shit down, nigga. AK or anybody kill. Hop out, get the drilling and spilling. Stay on point 6-2, gon' split 'em. LTN, that's for any fuck nigga. You a plug, then I'm pulling up, nigga. You my lunch, eat these bullets for dinner. 5 boys sell, eat 'em up, eat 'em up. SK, smoke killer for show. Drum rounds and cripple off Draco. I got them all, you don't want no. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really tripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I get this pussy, leave a nigga bleeding. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really tripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I get the squeeze and leave a nigga bleeding.
Yeah, bow, bow, bow. What's good, everybody? Peace and blessings to everybody. All things, man. Did y'all see them fights this weekend? First off, all things always the first one in, the last one out. Peace and blessings, King. Nate Dogg, D1. Peace and blessings, King. The legend, Crush. TWT, the winning team. Salute, homie. And yeah, I'm going to drop this link to get this open forum going. But whoo. Oscar De La Hoya, boy, that man was zooted this weekend, man. Did y'all see that? That man was zooted. And his paycheck, his pockets just took a hit. See, at Golden Boy, what they did here. See, I would like to see Santillia versus Mario Barrios, then the win against Boots. That's what I want, D1. But, I mean, hey, they can do it. I want Boots to get the best of the best. I want Boots to get Cody Crowley right now, and I want Barrios to fight it out. To beat Media O'Reilly. Salute, King. Peace and blessings. I'm gonna tell you like this: Cody Crowley was supposed to be the number one contender, not Boots, because Cody Crowley was the one that took Akmadok off, but they did him dirty. But Crowley said he retired. Bow. Hey, but I want to see Boots in there with somebody else, and I want to see Barrios versus Santillion. Barrios and Santillion, that's a can't miss fight right there. Matter of fact, why don't you go ahead and give boiled eggs to Boots? I say let Conor Ben get some of that Boots action since he did call him out. Peace and blessings, Aunt McQueen. Peace and blessings, homie. Because I've been wanting Conor Ben to get his business for a minute. And I've been wanting to shut his ass up. Oh, let me watch it down on my profanity, man. They done gave me a strike and everything. They said, and I don't know what I'm getting strikes for, but hey, you ain't real if you don't give them what they asking for. You feel me? But yeah, Santillan and Barrios, that would be a war. And that would be Barrios' fourth fight at the welterweight division. That would solidify him. And the winner of that, they'll be ready for Boots. Now, probably the winner of that went through so much damage, there'd be a shell for Boots. Yeah, Cody. Yeah, Cody. Correct, Nate Dogg, because Cody Akhmadov was Earl Spence's mandatory. He was number one challenger after Ocampo. Cody Crowley went up there and destroyed Akhmadov, and Cody Crowley didn't move up past 7. Like it was dirty. I thought if you beat the guy, you become the guy. That's what I thought. But yeah, Oscar De La Hoya, his stock has hit the bottom. With Virgil Ortiz not fighting and going to 154, they tried to push Alexis Rocha. They've been trying to push Alexis Rocha for the longest. Like they tried to use Rashidi Ellis as a stepping stone for Alexis Rocha, but Rashidi Ellis stopped that. So they put Rashidi Ellis on the shelf for 2 years because he popped the Alexis Rocha hype train. Then Blair Cobb came, so they seen him as a step up for Alexis Rocha to push him back. So Alexis Rocha stepped on Blair the Flair. Woo! Cobb. He stepped on him. So, they had him back in the limelight. And then, the fake call out with Crawford, all that right there. So Oscar, he been doing bad to Ryan Garcia. He making it seem like he don't need Ryan Garcia. He says Zepeda's the way. He just been down talking Ryan. Because he had Zepeda and Rocha. Well, like the great announcer said back in the day, down goes Frazier. Or should I say Rocha? Man, that man beat Rocha like he owed him back child support, man. He came in there and literally obliterated him. And see, people forgetting about Santillan. Oh, man, welcome my lovely co-host back from her studying. She is back on the market, back on the building. She's back on the show. Key Alexandra, peace and blessings. Queen, how you feeling today?
I am good. How are you? Can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Loud and clear.
Oh, I'm doing very, very, very good. I passed. So I'm
Hey,
happy. Yeah.
that's what it's all.
I hope, how have you been?
I've been chilling.
That's good. You've been holding down the fort. I see it's been some very interesting things
Oh,
happening.
yeah, last week we had my guy, the prolific one came through. Did you ever get a chance to rewatch that show?
I did. That kind of went left.
Quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Yeah. A lot of people are getting in their feelings a lot. It's like, woo, okay.
Then he didn't show up on KO. He called me out. I was on KO. I was waiting all night, push my meds back so I can get your body. And I ain't get my body. So I was able to make a poem over there.
Hey, well, I mean, you did well though, and I'm happy that because normally people would, you know what I'm saying, yell and scream and block them off and everything, but I'm glad. I really enjoyed the back and forth dialogue, even though it definitely appeared that um he was more into it. You know what I'm saying? Like he had more passion. Not saying that you don't have passion for the sport, but it was a bit emotion. He was a little bit emotional. So
Let's
I'm
keep it
glad
real.
that's how you handle. Huh?
Let's keep it real. He was
You're
a
going
lot
in and out, Upper. You said
of
let's keep it what?
bit of let's keep it real. He was a lot of bit of emotion. He even snapped on Thomas Hill, and Thomas Hill is the coolest person in the dang on boxing community.
That's what made me upset. I was upset that he came at you, but then I was like, Thomas is one of the most laid back individuals. Like, no, come on, man. Like, no, 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 no.
When he went at Thomas, that's when I decided he needed that work. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna give him that work now. But then he didn't even show up for work call. I ain't seen him all week.
Yeah, I don't even get that. Well, I do. I get it. But that's how they're coming now. It's a lot of, the sport is bringing out a lot of emotion, coming about, and a lot of it is warranted and a lot of it is unwarranted. And what he presented last week, I just didn't agree. I was like, yo, your message is skewed. But You
I
know, when
didn't
it
say
comes,
nothing bad about Devin though. That's the problem. I was like,
no,
dang,
you really didn't say. I mean, you said that he's going to win.
dang.
But I wanted to, because as I was studying, I was tapping in and I was jumping in and jumping out of the boxing stratosphere, but I couldn't really spend enough time on it. So I was able to catch up yesterday on the various conversations that's been had regarding these fights and these narratives. So, if you wouldn't mind, I would like to start with number one that I've noticed.
Go ahead. I'm sitting right here.
Okay, so number one, and first of all, shout out to everybody in here. Shout out to Nate Dogg, D1, my boy. All things as always, Coach Amber, the Queen, the mighty Queen. Shout out to you. I hope you guys are giving Miss Amber her flowers. She's done a lot for the women's sport. So shout out to that queen right there.
Let me drop the link in case Amber want to hop up here with you though. Hold on.
Okay. Shout out to Meaty Riley, Crush the Legend, salute. Shout out to all you kings and queens in there. So, or in here. Shout out to you guys. Thank you guys for spending time here. You could be anywhere else in the world, but you decided to say you come to Upper's channel. And I understand why. Upper is definitely one of the goats in these streets.
Oh,
So
don't knock yourself now. Don't knock yourself. That's
I'm
why
not.
everybody better make sure they
Mhm.
subscribe to Key Alexander. You're gonna be missing out on a lot of good stuff right there off our page.
Listen. I have a little bit of boxing knowledge, but compared to you, I am minuscule. I'm not. So I come here too to learn because I take in a lot what you say. So I definitely appreciate it.
But you also have real world knowledge. And on my other channel, the Upper Echelon Man, I just dropped a video. Y'all need to check it out. And me and Kia probably go over it tonight. It's about the feminism. Feminism done went left. And it done went left real quick because now they're about to pass a bill for women to get drafted into the war as well. So now not only men getting drafted in war, but women getting drafted in war. Now a lot of women are speaking out saying they don't want this, but they want equality. So now Joe Biden's about to give them equality. And I did a video on that, even though it's not right, but I did a video on it.
Okay, I'm gonna definitely check. I saw that too, and you sent it to me. So I'm gonna sit down and look at it before we go live tonight. So the first thing that I wanted to address was and I know you did a show. You did a very good show with the Kings. I think A1 Thomas, D1 was up here about the press conference. You guys did a very, very good job with that. Just a breakdown of everything. I forgot the other gentleman's name. Forgive me. But this is what I wanted to say. Standing back, being on the outside looking in. And I encourage a lot of fighting fans to do this because it allows you to put yourself in somebody's situation. And I don't know what you're going to say about this, Upper, but this is what I got from it. First of all, the first press conferences that I've seen, and correct me if I'm wrong, but normally it's a fill out, hey, how you doing? Shout out to Shane Fraser. Upper, drop that link to your Upper Echelon Man. That's what he's asking. But normally with the first press conference is more so of a fill out, hey, how you doing? And that one went totally left, right? Real quick from the gate. You know what I'm saying? The trainer or the coach, however you guys want to term Regis' person that was with him, and Bill and Devin came out, you know what I'm saying, swinging, guns a-blazing. Now, I've heard that Regis is, he wasn't as assertive. He was, he looks scared and all this other things. A lot can be said and can be taken away. It's just like a picture. A picture is worth 1,000 words, right? So a lot can be said and taken away from a press conference. But I'm gonna keep it honest with you all. I do not think that Regis was prepared. I don't think that went with the plan, to be like 105 with y'all. I don't think that went with the plan at all. I think that Regis didn't really know what to say because that didn't go with the plan. I peeped how They had Devin go first. It was pretty much made about Devin, and I felt like Regis, who's
That's
the
the link to the
champion,
new video right there.
and I felt like Devin being the champion, Regis being the champion was made pretty much mute. You know what I'm saying? It was like he was obsolete. Like, who, you know what I'm saying? It was like, oh, we're going to throw 50 million questions at Devin and his team, and we're going to have them say things and go off. And then the strength and conditioning coach is going to try to, rebut it, throw in his little 2 cents. But hardly, go back and watch that press conference. Hardly anything was pretty much was directed to Regis. I noticed that. He came out second. I was like, wow, that's interesting. But we don't know the type of contract that he signed either. But he came out second, and he was treated as a secondary, really a treachery, because the strength and conditioning coach had more to say than what Regis did. And I felt when I looked at his body language, because I did watch it without the volume and with the volume, and I just studied his body language. Regis just looked uncomfortable. He did not want to be there. And it showed when his last words was like, this is some clownery, and I really feel as though if Regis, people keep saying, Devin, looks big and everything else. I don't even think that Regis was looking at that, because the guy that he fought previously was taller than him. I don't think he was looking at that per se. I think that he was pretty much studying the cards that are being stacked against him. You know what I'm saying? Because I've went on several YouTube boxing channels, and nobody from the pro Haney, and there's only, to be honest with y'all, there's only a couple of I guess anti-Haney, or not even anti, just people that are not fans of his. Nobody has Devin losing. I maybe found maybe one or two people. There have been polls done. Nobody has Devin losing this fight. And so I don't think that Regis was looking at, how much bigger Devin was. And of course, we got to look at that as with a grain of salt, because he still has to cut that weight. He is not 140 right now. But I think he's feeling the pressure of everything, of the cards being stacked up against him. You are fighting in his territory. The judges are going to sway with that. And I made the comment that I feel humbly, and this is no disrespect to Regis, but I feel as though Regis is in the deactivation stage. You know what I'm saying? I think that the play is for a younger person to carry that belt and to make a splash in those other networks. You know what I'm saying? As a Devin Haney, especially if we can see this type of Devin Haney moving forward at pressers for Tio, that's going to be exciting. At pressers for Ryan Garcia, when he's done with Duarte, I do have him beating Duarte. I still have to review some more of Duarte's film, so I'm not sure how he's going to do it, but I don't think that what's his name? Golden Boy. What's the owner's name, y'all? Fishnet Stockings. What's his name? Oscar. Yes. I don't think that Oscar is going to allow Ryan to just jump off the deep end yet. Ryan is still young, and I feel as though Regis is in the deactivation mode, and the only person that everybody else knows it but Regis. Like, to be honest with you. And I feel bad. You know what I'm saying? I felt like that was a very one-sided press conference, and it just showed in his whole demeanor. He was not in tune. He, like, as soon as he sat down, he tuned out. And I'm very surprised at how Eddie Hearn handled Regis, because Regis was secondary, although he is the champion. Devin is moving up to fight him. Regis is not going down to fight him. You're coming into my house, into my territory, because from what everybody is saying, Regis is the king of 140, which I feel as though it's Teofimo Lopez. People can say what they want about him, sure, but Tio is the man at 140. And and the whole, call Tank and you dug Shakur. Let's take all that stuff from the side. Nobody brings up the fact that after Devin had called out, was, talking to Regis, Devin tried to petition for one of T.O.'s belt when he thought that T.O. was retired, which I knew T.O. was retired. You don't know which T.O. you getting every day. He blows with the weather. Somebody done pissed him off, he retired. He happy, he back in. You know what I'm saying? So what surprised me was that they didn't mention that Devin tried to go after that belt. He thought it was vacant. T.O. smacked his hand and came out with a post and said, "Nah, I see what you're trying to do, Devin." And instead of Devin saying, "Shoot, what's up? Let's fight then." You know what I'm saying? I didn't know you were retired, that you came out of retirement. Let's fight. He still went to the Regis route. So I found that, like, we can bring up about, I'm going to call Tank and Shakur and everything else, but that was never mentioned. And that spoke volumes to me. So while people are touting, going with the fact that Regis is the king of 140, no, Devin took 2 steps back when it came to T.O. I don't care what anybody say, and I don't want to hear, "Oh, that fight is not ready." All of these fights are ready. All of them. Let's really, if we're going to address this, let's really address it. All of these fights are ready. And I really liked what Coach Kenny, shout out to the Rise podcast, what they said a few days ago, where they said it's getting to a point, or no, I think it was Coach Calvin who said this, that the boxing is getting to a point that in 2024, everybody is going to have to fight everybody. And I wholeheartedly believe that, because we're seeing it now. We're seeing the remnants of this now. Everybody is fighting. When people were talking about the undercard for Devin and Regis, I was going through the book like, dang, who else can they put on there? Because everybody then fought this year. Let's be real. You know what I'm saying? Including for Shakur. Like, I'm like, man, who is Shakur going to put on this undercard? Because everybody has fought. And so that's the first thing I wanted to bring up about that, about the press conference. I feel for Regis. I felt like that was completely unfair of how they treated him. But at the same time, he is a man. He is a fighter. And I think that Regis is taking the route of Bud. Remember during Earl Spence and Bud didn't turn up until the day before. You know what I'm saying? That's when he turned up, and we were like, oh, okay. Maybe Regis is taking that quiet route. Canelo did it, or has been doing it. I mean, hell, Canelo apologized for for smacking Plant. You know what I'm saying? That's a different Canelo. Like, everybody's taking this calmer approach. Well, some of them are. And maybe that's what Regis is doing. Maybe taking a page out of those 2 guys' books. But all in all, I felt for Regis. I really, really did. Now, my second point is, when it comes to how Devin and Bill carried themselves, I was all for it. I think that this fight needs the excitement, especially since it has now been confirmed. And I had reached out to Upper before the Mikey Garcia thing broke. I text Upper and I said, yo, Floyd and Mikey gonna fight. Did I not tell you that?
Facts.
Right. So it came out after I've already heard about this. I said, no, it's going to be Floyd and Mikey, because people thought it was going to be Floyd and Keith and everybody else. I said, no, it's Mikey Garcia. I've been heard for the past, I want to say about 3 weeks, Mikey Garcia has been sparring. And he's been sparring some guys, but he's been sparring. And they said he's been taking it very seriously from the people that I heard it from. And I said, he got a fight coming up. And I was like, who would Mikey, who I feel as though is a Hall of Famer, who is good enough for him to come back out and say, I'm about to go back in. And I said, Floyd Mayweather. And I put 2 and 2 together. I reached out to Upper, and it's been confirmed. So I think that this fight is needed. I mean, not that fight, but Devin and Regis, that excitement is needed. I think that if Devin would have took the approach of Regis, that would have been a boring ass conference. press conference. So I did like what Bill and Devin is bringing. Um, I do like the cockiness, the attitude. To be honest with you, when I was watching it, I was like, dang, where have Devin been? Where has this type of Devin been at this time? You know what I'm saying? He was giving me like Rolly vibes, you know what I'm saying? Adrian Broner vibes, just that straight just come out talking and taunting. Like, dang, we've been, you know what I'm saying? We've been missing that. I do feel as though Bill gave too much props to Regis. I'm not gonna lie about that. Even though I get why he did it, but if that's the case, y'all should have just let Regis come out first and go first. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't give me a backhanded compliment. You feel me? Like, I see the play. I see the play. But I thought that they did what they was supposed to do. Now, will this resonate into sales? I'm hearing that it's being sold out, or not sold out, but the tickets are selling and moving. As we get closer to the date, I would not be surprised if Regis continues to be quiet and just focus on the fight. I think we're going to hear more so from Devin Haney. Now, that can be looked at as a double-edged sword, because maybe Regis can come out and surprise everyone and beat up Devin, right? And then we're like, oh, that's why he was quiet. But what if, Devin comes out and puts on a dominating performance, which I have him doing? Then it'll be like, then people will say, oh, well, Regis was scared this whole time. So he can't really win for losing with this. But I think that Devin and his father did a good job. I think that moving forward, we're going to see more so of Devin and his father. We're not going to hear too much from Regis. And as far as how this would translate into sales, I think they will do okay. I do feel as though Floyd and the brilliance of that undercard, that is a brilliant, I think that that's the best undercard of this year. They got straight brawlers on that undercard. You understand? So I think that that's going to trump Devin and Regis, unfortunately. I say support both if you choose to. I'm supporting both. Get both the fights, you know what I'm saying? Support these people, because at the end of the day, and I really want Devin and Regis to do well, not because I want a Tank and a Regis fight, a Tank and a Devin fight in the future, but also because these are two black fighters, and there is this stereotype that black fighters don't sell well when they fight together. And so I don't want that. I want, moving forward, people to know that when, we get fights that we want, they will do well. They will do successful. So I do want them to do very, very well. Do you got anything for what I've said so far, Upper?
Yeah, it's a lot to unpack. I'm going to go ahead and unpack it if you don't mind.
Go ahead. Sorry about that.
All right. First off, I'm about both fights. I'm about a Regis and Devin, plus I'm buying that Floyd and Mikey, because I feel like both of them are historic fights. Both of them need to be bought. I'm about Devin and Regis just for the main card. I really don't see no value of that undercard, because the zone really ain't got many people that they can put on that undercard, really. But to allude to your point about how Regis is being treated, Eddie Hearn just signed Regis, really, if you think about it. Eddie Hearn, he's been having dealings with Devin. He said Devin will be back after he go get the undisputed championship. So Devin went and got the undisputed, and then he came back. Now, Regis isn't the draw that Devin is, honestly. Regis, he's 30-some years old, never had a pay-per-view. He sold out in his hometown, yeah. But in his one big fight, he came up short against Josh Taylor. And I felt like he won that fight, but he came up short. And so Regis, Regis is the B-side, even though he's the champion. Even though you got Devin moving up, Regis is the B-side. Regis was considered the bully. Only person that was calling Regis' name out really was Sabril Matias, who I feel like is the king of 140. Because I feel like ain't nobody really calling for Sabril Matias. They call for Tio, but they're not calling for Sabril Matias. And you made a point. Yes, Devin did try to get Teofimos Lopez. He tried to get that vacant belt and fight Arnold Barbosa. He was trying to petition the WBO to fight Arnold Barbosa for T.O.'s empty belt. And T.O. said, oh, hell no, you're not about to get my belt for free. So T.O. came back. And you're right. Devin didn't try to pursue it or nothing. And he disrespected Devin and everything. Hold on 1 second. I'm sorry, y'all. Shout out to my guy, Reed Philly. Shout out to J.A. Dixon. Shout out to it was Anthony Latham. Peace and blessings, Kings. Welcome to the chat. My bad. I forgot to acknowledge y'all when y'all walked in. But my lovely co-host was speaking. I didn't want to be rude to interrupt her. But yes, Regis is secondary right now. Devin is starting to change the show. Like, Devin is the reason why it's on pay-per-view. And we just gonna keep that real. Devin, he did the smart way, because once you on pay-per-view, you should never go back to free TV. Once you get your momentum started, whether it's good or bad, you should go ahead and go and keep it rolling. Like, whether it's good or bad, you got to keep it going. You can't just go from pay-per-view to free TV. That's hustling backwards. And so Bill and Devin understood that. And so they got the zone to put on a pay-per-view. And so Regis is on pay-per-view because of Devin. Devin is still a 3-belt holder, while Regis is just the daggone champion. And see, that's why I think Bill and Devin kept the belt as leverage. Because even if Devin loses this fight to Regis, Devin can Jose Diaz, salute King, peace and blessings. Even if Devin does manage to lose this fight, he can also petition Teofimo and the WBO for another title shot. So if he loses, he still can petition for another 140 belt. Weedy Gonzalez, peace and blessings, King. And that's another thing. So Devin, he really has nothing to lose, but I felt like Regis, when he talked to Devin, I felt like when he seen him up close, I felt like he seen like the gravity of the situation. Like, Devin is moving up, but Regis is still gonna be the smaller guy. Now Devin's about 160, 165 right now, but still he has to cut down to 140. No matter how big he is now, he has to make 140. Now, not saying what he's gonna rehydrate up to, but in the beginning, him and Regis is gonna be the same size on that scale. Now, what he rehydrates up to is gonna be a different. We don't know what Devin's power is gonna be like, because we don't know what his muscle mass is gonna be like. We don't know what his muscle mass is gonna be like up there, because like I told y'all before, you have to it takes like a year to put on 8 pounds of muscle. And Anthony Latham, I just hooked you up, bro. Patrick Bell, salute, peace and blessings, King. Seth M, peace and blessings, King. Peace and blessings. Dean, peace and blessings. Sorry about that. Just had to make sure I let all y'all know, peace and blessings. But yeah, if Devin loses, he still gets another crack at the strap. So it's not a lose-lose situation for him. But I feel like people think about what Devin did at 135, and honestly, the 135 division is a elite division, just like the 147. People don't give credit to like the 130s, the 140s, the 154s, the 168s, because they're not elite divisions. They're like stopping divisions. They're like purgatory. Like all those divisions I just named are purgatory to the elite divisions, because you got the light heavyweight, middleweight, the welterweight, and you got the lightweight. All them divisions in between, those are not real divisions. They made those divisions. Yes, 140 is popping right now, Nate Dogg, but it's still not the primary division. It's still not 147 or 135. And I feel like Devin, with his weight, he only got about 2 or 3 fights at the 140 division. So he's trying to make himself a champion, be a 2-division champion before he has to move up, because his body's not going to let him make 140 too much. Like Shakur, when he moved to 130, his body didn't let him make that as much, because as Shakur aged, he wasn't able to make that weight because his body is putting it on. You feel what I'm saying? Put on the weight. So, Devin is reaching that age that Shakur was, because, Shakur was a year older than Devin. So Devin's starting to get them same changes in his body now. Like, when you start getting older, it's harder to cut that weight, and your body puts on heavier weight and muscle density. And once your muscle density gets heavier, it's going to be a lot harder to make them weights. And Eddie Hearns, he knows Regis is at the end of his years. Regis is like 35, 36. He's older than Charlo and Spence. So they know Regis, if Devin can beat Regis, that'd be a hell of a stepping stone. That'd be a hell of a name on Devin's on his name. That'll give Devin the best resume out of the three kings, because T.O. got the best resume right now with Josh Taylor and the Lomachenko fresh win. Devin just has Lomachenko, really. So if he can put Regis on there, then he'll top T.O. with that. But because T.O. also got the loss to Kambosos, who Devin destroyed, who Maxie Hughes destroyed. But I feel like he chose Regis over T.O. because T.O. is more athletic and is a more dangerous fighter. Whereas Regis, he's more slow and he's more a trotting fighter instead of an athletic on the toes type fighter. And those type of fighters that give Devin a lot of trouble is the athletic on the toes type. Like, it's easy to fight a fighter that trots forward, who doesn't get on his toes, that fights like Mexican style and stuff. And Regis is pretty good at that. He got good defense, good head movement, but he's still a trotting fighter. He's not an athletic on the toes type fighter. And they called him out because they feel like he's at the end of his rope and they see himself beating him, honestly. But yeah, that's it right there. Go ahead. You can finish cooking.
Yes, I agree with everything that you said. That is definitely true. And again, I feel for Regis because I think that they are, if he's not going to be a gatekeeper, quote unquote gatekeeper, I feel like they are pretty much in the point of deactivation. One thing that does keep Regis in the conversation, though, is that he can crack. He does have, you know what I'm saying? He does have power. That can't be negated. You know what I'm saying? However, will he be able to catch Devin? I don't think so. I think that, while people were, making fun of when Linares caught Devin and everything else and what Loma was doing, what Loma did to him in the 10th and 11th round, he still didn't go down. So we can say that Devin does have a chin. Now, will that chin resonate to 140? Time will tell. I don't think that 140 will just be a flat out, he's going to go up there and just put everybody on the ground. No.
Well, I'm going to tell you like this, right? I got one thing to rebut, right?
Go ahead.
We look at Devin's speed at 135, but you don't know what his speed's going to look like with that extra weight on it, honestly. Like 5 pounds matter. 5 pounds, that's a lot of stamina. That's a lot of energy. And if it's muscle, that's a lot of oxygen that you're about to use. And he also beat Devin Alexander, Nate Dogg. But you know something, Nate Dogg, even though Sean Porter got all them losses, he fought all the big fights. He got all the big fights. Even though he lost, everybody beat him. Nobody beat him, really blew him away. And so he'd be a Hall of Famer just off that. 2 cent boxing, salute, Queen. But Sean Porter's a Hall of Famer just because he fought all the big fights. And he was close in all the big fights, D1. And when I'm talking about T.O. has the best resume, he has the highest. You can't take away a boxer's resume because he got a loss. Yes, it puts him down on the rank as pound for pound. Like, I got Devin over him pound for pound. I'm talking about his resume. He got the bigger wins on his resume. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not saying that he's better than Devin, but his resume is, because he got bigger wins than Devin on his resume. Now, his ranking is not higher than Devin's, no, because he got a loss. It's a difference when I'm talking about their rank and their pound for pound ranking and their resume. Resume and rankings are two different things, homie. That's what I'm saying. But yeah, we don't know what Devin's power is going to be like, and the fact that Linares did catch him, it'd be a different. We don't know what Regis power will. We don't know what Regis power will resonate to on Devin. Like, we seen Loma was catching him. We don't know what Devin's punch resistance is going to be like up there. I'm sure it'll go up some, but Regis, he put that cartoon knot on Josh Taylor, and Regis is used to going around at that weight. Devin's trying this weight for the first time, so we don't know what his speed and reflexes will be. Now, normally coming up from a smaller weight class, you are the faster fighter. That's just natural. But we don't know how much faster, and we don't know how much, because Regis is a career junior welterweight. He's a career. So he's been here his whole career. So he's used to everything at that division. So he's a lot better than people that just moved there. But I feel like when he come up, you know, it might be different. That's why I say I got it still 50-50 because Regis is still a bad man in the division. I'm just not going to throw him to the wolves just because Devin coming up. Because, like I said, Devin hasn't felt that type of power. You see, Tio came up, Sando Martin was dropping him with a check hook. That's what I'm saying. The power resonates different as you move up in power. But yeah, there you go.
Yeah, and I do believe that. I do hear what you're saying. The thing that I have though with Regis, why I'm concerned for him is because, well, when I first heard the fight, I said Devin is going. I always felt that Devin was going to give him a go. At first, I was like, on the fence, maybe 50-50. But the footwork is what I'm mostly concerned with Regis. But another thing, though, that Devin needs to be wary of that I see with Devin, Devin is not a good inside fighter. So I'm curious to see how Devin is going. Is he going to stick in jab? I mean, jab and move all fight? That'll tire him out. We don't know. Because his inside fighting is not good. He has a good jab. Um, and he knows how to keep people at bay. I will give that to him. But when it comes to that inside fighting, I'm not sure how he's going to um, keep Regis up off of him with that. You get what I'm saying, Upper?
Oh, I get you exactly. That's why Floyd says sometimes you can't box. Sometimes you're going to have to fight.
Exactly. And so I'm curious to see how that's going, how Devin is going to react with that. And then he did make the comment about the lefts that Loma was hitting him with that in that fight. So I'm curious to see how they're going to counter that pretty much with Regis. Now the thing is, and I respect Coach Amber spoke on this about a month ago, a few weeks ago. And this is how I've always graded fighters. I've always based it off of the four criteria of boxing, and I've always went to the fundamentals. And that fundamentals come from how they look during their amateurs, right? That's why I have Tank at such a high level, because Tank's amateur career is bar none. He has an excellent amateur career. And I don't know why people don't talk about it as much, but anyways, the fundamentals that you develop um, in the amateurs, right, and even in the Olympics, is pretty much what you carry throughout. And in those amateurs, you learn, the adjustments. You learn,
Yes. The amateurs are very important. People don't
yes,
realize that.
yes,
And Jose Diaz, if you want to, homie, you can hop up there too. You can hop up here too. Hey, Billy Ray Bucks, I see you sitting there saying different things. You're contradicting yourself. I think you're just trying to get noticed. We're not even giving you the notice that you won't. But I see you keep moving from different things right there. I mean, see how that works out for you. You just keep saying different things just to get attention. That's all the attention you get.
so 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 I think that I look at that, right, the fundamentals. That's what I also add on to how I rate my pound for pound fighters. And my concern is that with Devin and Regis, they're not, you know, their fundamentals. I haven't really seen adjustments being made on the drop of a dime. You know what I'm saying? Of what they have to do in order to be successful in that fight. And Devin has fought. I mean, besides Loma, he's fought the same type of come forward fighter. To be honest with you, it can be said about all of them, right? The same type of come forward fighter, putting pressure on, and then they're able to shout out to Two Cents, hey Queen.
You know something? I've
Yes,
noticed that you just said that all of Regis's fights have been against tailor-made fighters that like the brawl, like Josh Taylor and them that like the brawl and come forward, like Zapata and all them. Like,
exactly.
he ain't really been in there with nobody athletic that's really skilled like that. Zarilla probably was the most skilled person he was in there with, and we see what happened. But he didn't prepare for Zarilla. He prepared for a slow Mexican style fighting boxer, and Zarilla was a switch up at the last minute.
Exactly. And so but see, in that fight, it showed, shout out to the King Dean. in that fight, it showed with both Haney and with Regis that they have a problem with adjustments. And see, that stuff is learned with your basic fundamentals, which comes from the majority of it comes from your amateur boxing. And so I'm kind of curious to see how these adjustments are going to be made. Who's able to pretty much read and download the data, because I still haven't seen too many people. I haven't seen any fights with Regis and with Devin that they've been able to download that data and take advantage of it. You get what I'm saying? They pretty the point that I'm trying to make is they pretty much fought the same type of style, and it's been good for them. The only difference is that with Devin pressed Loma a lot more and was able to, what got Devin that victory in those first few rounds. People were looking at the body shots. I was looking at the counters. Devin was sneaking great counters in there. He's a very good counter puncher. I don't know why people only focus on the jab. Devin is a very good counter puncher. So I'm curious to see
jabs and straight rights. He got that straight right counter.
Yeah, so I'm curious to see how this is going to this fight is going to play out. But I will quiet up and let these other 3 kings and queens come in and cook. Shout out to you guys. Thank you guys for joining.
What up, Key?
What's up, y'all? Key, I appreciate that. Y'all already know 2 cents. John,
Deem, and John Nori.
Yo, Upper, you already know.
Peace and blessings.
I just want to hop up here real quick and give my 2 cents about the fight. I'm looking at Devin, man, and he looks massive. Like, I guess you could quote, I guess maybe he's getting his man size and coming up. He looks more powerful. I'm watching him hitting on the bag, so I guess he's getting his man strength. But I know this might sound crazy, but I think Devin might mess around and stop Regis. And I just don't know where Regis is at, because based off his last fight, he didn't look great at all. And I think he got knocked down in that fight, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
So I just see him getting outboxed. Now, will Devin be able to handle the power if he is getting touched up by Regis? We don't know. We believe that Devin had a questionable chin, but you see him getting rocked in that Loma fight, and his punch resistance was up. I mean, his head was getting snapped back by Loma. But I know it sounds crazy, but I do think that Haney will stop Regis at this fight in the later rounds. And he needs a stoppage. Like, Haney really needs a stoppage at this point. And so he's not draining and sucking down to make 135. He should be more powerful. He should have more strength. He should have more energy, all of that, because he's going up in weight. So I'm interested to see how this fight going to play out.
Okay, thank you for your 2 cents, Queen. Let's go in order. John Nori, what do you have on the cook?
Yo, what's up? Sorry, eating just now. Yeah, I like Devin coming up to 140. He look good. I agree with 2 cents. He definitely look like he's maturing with his body, with his physical. But I don't know. I think it's a close fight on paper. This is a really bad matchup for Regis, man.
Mm-hmm.
I've been noticing a lot. Devin likes he used to get a lot of criticism for holding too much, but I feel like that's part of his game now. I think he's gonna, as he becomes a bigger guy, I see him going to 147 maybe like in the next 2 years. But I think he's gonna start doing that Andre Ward type of shit, man. He's gonna start holding and hitting and getting rough with these guys, man. When I go back and I watch that Linares fight and some of that JoJo Diaz fight, he's not as fleet-footed as people like to assume. Like, the reason why I'm a fan of Devin's fights is because after he starts outboxing you and gets your timing and gets the range, he takes chances. You know, he gets in there. He sees what you got, and then if he can't really do nothing, he can't really get you out of there, then he'll just continue to outpoint you. But he'll go in there and he'll throw some, he'll take some to see what you got. The problem I have with him not getting as many stoppages at 135 is he don't go for the kill shots. He don't throw combinations. when he likes the pop shot too much. And and he don't sit down his punches a lot of the times. He likes to just take the quick sharp counter and let that do most of the damage rather than trying to like really sit down on the shot and test somebody's chin. So we'll see how we adjust when he moves up to 140. I think he will start throwing some more combinations in there because I know he knows how to do it, but it all depends. We got to see how his body adjusts. And like you guys said, excuse me, uh, how will the power affect him? Now, I don't think he has a suspect chin. I see him take enough shots to know that even if he gets hurt, he's not going down. And if he does get hurt, it's going to be because of a really clean shot. So we'll see.
All right, thank you for that. Dean, what you got, King?
What's up, y'all? Key, man, I just want to say appreciate you always showing love. You already know. You too, Upper, man. 2 cents. You already know. I see you doing your thing, baby girl. Keep pushing your channel. I just, because I see big things happening for you because you be bringing up different type conversations, and I like that.
Appreciate it.
The main thing I'm going to say is I got Devin winning this 8-4, y'all. Y'all know I like to dive deep into things. Regis' last fight, he was jabbing at the air. You understand? And one thing about Devin Haney, if you're not an accurate puncher, like one thing we got to get Loma. Loma was on point with his punch placement. Where he wanted to hit Devin at, he was able to hit Devin at. You understand? And when he saw openers, I'm not as confident that Regis will be able to do what Loma did. That's the only way to beat somebody like Devin. You're not going to beat him by trying to outbox him. Unless you're a Shakur or one of those type people that's what you do. That's not what Regis does. Regis is more of a Mexican style type fighter, if that makes sense, with a little slickness involved. And I just don't see him. Devin Haney, that 12th round against Loma is the reason why I don't think Regis can beat him. Because unless you're going to really knock him out and go for the gusto, he's going to outpoint you. Because I really feel as though Devin is a more active fighter than Regis. My last 2 fights I seen from Regis, he's so when it come to activeness. Like he's looking for a good shot. He'll throw if you throwing at him, but for the most part, he walking up trying to get his spots. Devin is going to be check jabbing, body jab, straight to the body. He's going to go in there and play tic-tac-toe with him. And I just don't see how Regis, unless he knocks him out, Regis does not win this fight. That's just my opinion on it.
You know what?
I think Haney gonna stop him, man.
You know
I agree.
Stop Regis.
Nah, I don't think so. Regis done took a lot of punishment. I don't think Haney gonna stop him.
That's crazy to say.
Yeah,
that.
I got an 8-4, y'all. I got it going.
No, what I'm saying is this is what I'm saying. People are forgetting that Regis is a monster. Like
Dog.
I'm gonna tell you like this. We don't know what Devin's chin. We seen when he got adversity. When Linares hit him, he had to clinch up. We seen that. We seen when Loma hit him, he was getting frustrated. I feel like Regis in his last few fights, he wasn't as active, but when Regis is biting down, he bites down. People talk about the Zorilla fight. Like I told you, he had a weaker opponent at first, and his opponents dropped out, and he had to take Zorilla at the last minute. Just like when Manny Pacquiao had Earl Spence, he had to switch up and take Ugas at the last minute. When you take a last-minute fighter that's a different style, that messes up your whole fight. It messes up your whole fight. Now, he came through, and this is not what he was used to fighting. And, you know, the style, the caliber. I don't think he took his training camp as serious until he got Zorilla. Because his first fight wasn't that tough. But when he came through, you know, he had to bite down. And I feel like the Regis, y'all got to forget, Regis has been in wars. Regis has been known to stop people at 140. Regis was a monster there. And I feel like he can bring it back. And what Devin has to realize what Floyd says. Sometimes you just can't outbox a person. Sometimes you have to fight. And I feel like Regis is going to make it rough and rugged. I feel like he's going to get in there and he's going to get in the dugout. And I feel like he's going to force Devin to have to throw with him. And I feel like he's going to try to close it off. Like he's working on his cardio. And I feel like Devin with this new weight, he doesn't know how this 140 weight affect him. He might get tired a lot quicker. If Regis can push the pace, like Loma did, the second half of the fight, Loma took over. Now I feel like if Regis gets a couple good shots and he gets in there and pushes the pace, I feel like it might be trouble for Devin. And like
Oh
I
yeah,
said, I
for
feel like
sure. If he
Devin's
pushed the
power.
pace, for sure.
Hold on. I feel like Devin's power will carry up. I feel like his power will be more at 140 than what it is at 135. Just like Terrence Crawford power carry. Like when you zapping your muscles like Earl. Like when Earl moves up to 154, 160, his power will substantially increase. I feel like Devin's power is going to increase, but I feel like Devin still is going to have problems making that 140 weight. And that 140 weight
Facts.
is only 5 more pounds. And Devin got up to almost 180. I'm sorry,
So you
bro.
think he too big for 140?
I feel
Yep.
like he only got
He's
about 2 or 3
definitely too
fights
big.
at 140. The man is walking around over 160. He's walking
So
around
how
at
is
the
he ever
middleweight.
gonna fight Tank if he this big?
You
He
know,
not gonna fight
He's a
Tank. That
the
Tank
thing
fight
welterweight.
is
about Loma,
over.
when Loma seen that, man, Loma said, this ain't no middleweight. I mean, he said, this ain't no lightweight. This is a middleweight. Devin's a
He
big
said,
Upper.
guy. And I feel like he got 3 fights. Listen to what I say. He got about 3 fights at 140. I feel like he's going to look like a skeleton on that weight because right now he's pushed himself so high. He's going to have to cut a lot of weight. And yes, he's going to rehydrate huge. But I feel like this cutting down that 140 is going to take a little bit out of Devin. It's going to take something out of him. And I feel like Regis is going to be right there. It's going to be tougher than what y'all think. Watch. I'm telling you.
But Upper,
Regis
you
is
know
going
the
to
one
come to
thing though,
play.
bro.
Regis is
I
going to
got
look like he did when he fought Josh Taylor, when he fought Bundu. All them, you're going to see a good Regis out there, man.
But Upper, this is where I gotta give you pushback on that because when we talk about boxers that's upper in age, the problem that I have with Regis is from your last 2 fights. It ain't got nothing else to do with skill or any of that. It mostly has to do with his IQ. I don't see him getting better IQ wise. By this age, you supposed to have it all together. It shouldn't be no more trying to figure it out when you've been at that same weight class this whole time. So I
Yeah.
should see you being more meticulous in the ring.
Okay, but you
You know
know,
what I mean?
Regis doesn't get credit for his head movement. Like Regis
I do
just
like
doesn't
his
sit
head
there and
movement.
get hit. He just doesn't sit there and get hit. The man is meticulous in that ring. And Jose Diaz, water rehydration is just water to make the weight, you lose muscle. Yeah, but when you rehydrate and that's giving your muscle back its vitamins and is oxygen and everything that you took away from it because you have to dehydrate your muscles so you can make that weight. So when you rehydrate and you filling your muscles back up so they're prepared to work because you can't work them while they're dehydrated.
Because my thing is Upper. We seen Floyd, we seen Spence, we seen Bud Crawford. Even Pacquiao got to give a lot of credit to. Once they got to that 34, 35 age, they knew they was masterminds in the ring by that point in time. Like, you're not about to throw nothing at me. I think his last 2 performances, he could have landslided these guys if he had the right IQ and attack.
But you
I
know
don't
something? You know,
because
that's why I also say iron sharp as iron, right, Dean?
yes,
We
I
haven't really seen Regis in there with the top notch guys like that.
Okay.
Like all the top notch people have ducked him mostly, but like
I agree.
he couldn't get the Ramirez fights. He had to fight with Josh Taylor, which I felt like he got done dirty, but that's really his only top guy that he's really fought.
I
And like
agree.
Zepeda, he's okay, but he's a punching bag. Like
Zepeda, the most overrated boxer in boxing.
Yeah, so Regis really hasn't had the great fighters that push him to the limit, that teach him how to evolve. So Devin will probably be the highest skilled person he's been in there with. So now we get to see if he's able to evolve or if he's going to have to shut it down. This is a do or die fight for Regis.
But
Regis
this is definitely a must win.
If he loses, he at this age now, if he loses to Devin, he might as well pack it up and head out. And he'll be a stepping stone for Devin. Or he could turn his career around and go ahead and pop this young lion. And then Devin going to have to call for Teofimo as the mandatory because he still has the WBO belt.
But Upper, I agree with you on this thing. I'm going to say this, though. It's definitely more of a must win. Like, all the pressure is on Devin. Like, it's definitely a must win for Devin because if Devin loses, it's way more ramifications. Like, if Regis lose, it's not going to be as big of a hit for Regis' career. He'll still be able to get the fights. But what I'm saying is Upper, he'll still be able to get what's the other guy? I always get his name mixed up. Upper, the other guy, everybody ducking that 140. Matias, he might still be able to get that fight.
Matias ain't gonna fight him without a belt. But I'm gonna tell you like this, right? Devin has the least to lose because if Devin loses, it'll be like, okay, he took Regis on his first fight at 140. Like he didn't get a chance to acclimate. So that's a built-in excuse for that's why they sitting there talking about how great Regis is. That's why they sitting there boosting Regis up just in case Devin does lose to Regis. But remember, Devin also can fight Tio because he's the WBO champion, so he can become that mandatory. So it's not if Devin loses to Regis, then come back and pop Tio, he's better than where he was before.
But
Man, if you can't
yeah.
beat Regis, you're not beating Tio.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
just
what.
saying,
There we go,
they
John.
can always say this was his first fight at 140.
So he got to make it happen. Ain't nobody here for them excuses.
But
They got a built-in excuse ready. That's all I'm saying.
But
Okay.
also, let's not forget too, though, that this is Josh. I mean, when Regis fought Josh Taylor, he was also in his area, and I think it's very interesting that
England, yep.
And I think it's very interesting that Regis is now doing it again and fighting in another enemy's territory. So that should be noted too.
Yeah, if Regis don't get a knockout, he ain't gonna win.
Yeah,
if he don't get a knockout, he ain't gonna win. They
exactly.
Eddie Hearn's already got it in that you're not beating Devin if you don't knock him out.
See, but this is the thing, y'all. I think that like Devin's already looked at as like the favorite. Like y'all know the Tank fight. Everybody clamoring for that. They clamoring for the Shakur fight. Do you see how hard it is to make those fights now? Could you imagine if he loses? What will be said? What I'm gonna have to come up here and do to him, and I don't want to do it. Y'all know how I'm gonna get. I don't want to do it, but I'm gonna have to. It's not even just Devin per se. It's the aura and the everything that's surrounding Devin name. Like Regis is not even half as popular as Devin Haney is. So that's why I say the ramifications. And I put it like this, Upper. If he lose in a close fight, it's not as bad. If he get knocked out, like you saying, like how I feel, if that's the only way for Regis to win, if he gets knocked out, it's gonna be bad out here. That's
gonna be ugly.
But
he can't get knocked out.
Yes, and that's definitely true, Dean and John Nori. I'm gonna go ahead and pass the mic. Go ahead, D1. What you got to cook on, sir? Welcome.
What's up with you, girl? What's up, Kai? What's up, Upper?
What's up, Brody?
Boxing nuts. What's up with y'all? Man, I don't understand how all the Devin fans think that there's no chance that Regis cannot win this fight. He comes to fight, that kid's in trouble. There's a reason he boils down to 135 and boils down to these light ass weights because he can't punch. There's no chance of Devin knocking dog Regis out. None. Not a single chance in hell. Only if he throws a Hail Mary punch and it hits him dead on the button. That's the only chance. He can definitely get outpointed by Regis, but not in San Francisco or wherever they're fighting.
Yes, that's where they fighting at, San Francisco.
Yeah, I get it, but I think Regis is going to win this fight easy too. And it's a win-win for Devin because he can just, like Upper said, take his WBO and challenge Tio. But like Buddy said, you can't fight against Tio if you don't beat Regis. There's definitely more downfall if Devin loses. He ain't never getting a Tank fight.
But D1, you got to explain to us. You say easily. You got to explain that to me.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
I'm saying.
What do you mean? I think Regis is a dog, and your boy can't crack an egg. He's about to get beat up. This ain't a boxing match. Regis might have said he's about to box, and you all buy in. He's going in there to fight, bro. He's not boxing with Devin Haney.
If he go in there
what
to fight,
sense
bro,
would that make?
Chance of winning. If he go there to fight, he got a great chance of winning.
If you and I know that, don't you think he knows that?
But you got, see, my thing is, bro,
he's gonna take his chances boxing with Devin Haney.
See, but D1,
a faster kid, and it's an open stance, and it's in the open stance. Your boy, he ain't good in that. If you haven't been paying attention, when it gets to open stance fighting, righty versus the lefty, he's trash. The jab goes away. It all goes away.
But
his punches get walked through.
I agree with you, D1, on your points. I agree with what you said. I literally agree with that. The problem I have with guys like Regis, why haven't I seen that these last two against your last two opponents that's not even as good as Devin Haney, my guy?
He's 34 years old, bud.
But
he's an old man.
And there we go. And you heard what I just said.
He ain't gonna get younger against Dev.
Yeah, you're not about to get younger.
I get it. He's coming to fight. It's the biggest fight of his life. He's got one chance. That's Devin Haney. That's it.
He's basically Eminem right now. You
yeah, exactly, homie. Exactly, D.
All right, then.
Well, I think go ahead, John.
He's gonna have to fight the best fight I ever seen to easily beat Devin. I don't see that. All that speed and athleticism. This is gonna be tough for Regis.
Athleticism. What?
Yeah.
It's easy. You've seen that against George Kambosos. You didn't see that against no top level guy. I mean,
Yeah,
what are we
even
talking
Loma had a
about?
problem with the speed. I mean, even Loma put his hand in his pocket just trying to
What?
figure out, okay, how am I get to this guy? That speed is
Oh,
not. Trust
goodness.
me, when you fight a young
Speed. What
fighter,
speed? What speed?
that
Where?
speed, and you are 34.
Speed.
When them
Speed.
punches start going, choo, choo, and and that shit starts flying in
Yeah,
front of
that's
your
what they
face,
sound like too. A fucking pea
all
shooter.
that, I'm gonna knock him out. Shit go out the window.
Fucking
When you,
pew pew little tiny punches.
yeah, but when you start getting, toot, 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 and them shit start lighting you up round after round, it feel a little different.
Don't
That dog feel different when
So,
you that
Key,
just
can I
old.
ask you
all
something,
you
Key?
don't tell me I didn't tell you so when Devin is beat the fuck up. And I won't tell you you didn't tell me so when he outpoints Regis. You know what I mean?
Nah, I ain't taking no bragging rights from this fight.
I don't. It is
Key,
what it is,
can
man.
I ask you something, Key? I want to know this from your perspective. What we doing with Devin if he win in amazing fashion?
I'm a fan.
Hold on 1 second, y'all. Hold on 1 second. I see people talking about Tank and Shakur miss weight. Tank and Shakur ain't have nothing to do with this. We talking about Devin boiling down. And Devin had problems making the weight in his last fight. Tank missed at 130, but Tank also made 130, 140, and 135. And Shakur missed that 130 as well, but they're making the 135 weight. That's no
With no
problem.
problem, yeah.
And they missed it a while ago. Yeah, they were Tank wasn't as focused. He's focused now. He's not making it.
Yeah,
But
Upper, that
Devin,
was chubby face Tank.
yeah, that was a different type of Tank. But like I said, Devin had problems at 135. They had a private weigh-in. We're not even really sure that he made the weight. And we know on big fights like that, they're not going to take away the fight. I've seen it plenty of times, and we've seen it plenty of times where the fighters don't make the weight and they go ahead and let it keep riding because it's too much invested in the fight. That's why they have private weigh-ins. You know,
Yeah.
and the boxing corrupt, but that's what the reason the private weigh-ins. Jose Diaz is in the chat right now. And he will tell you, and he's a boxing promoter and a coach. He will tell you when they have them private weigh-ins, somebody didn't make weight, but they just let the shit ride. Am I right, Jose?
Dean, what did you want to ask me, sir?
I wanted to ask you, Key, from your perspective, what
And
we doing
Big
with that?
Dose, that's how long you get. You get 2 hours to make the weight, bro. You get 2 hours to make the weight. Shakur had
One.
2 hours to make the weight versus Casey. He just turned it back. Jose Diaz right there, he's with the Cuban boxers. He would tell you when they have them private weigh-ins, boxers aren't making weight. Devin versus Loma, that private weigh-in, Devin didn't make weight. And I'm just being real about it. That's why they have it in private. That's why they call it private weigh-ins. That's why nobody get to see it. And you can check Jose Diaz's credentials. You can check who he is. No, that Big Dose, they gave Shakur 2 hours for the Casey fight, bro. And you can check who Jose. Yes, Jose Diaz right there. He's with Morel. He's with David Morel, Ugas, and all of them right there. Jose Diaz will tell you. If the fight doesn't happen, everybody loses money. That's why it's called a private weigh-in. That's why Devin's at 140 because he couldn't make 135 his last fight. Sorry to
He'll
bust your bubble,
struggle.
but that's what it
He'll
is.
struggle for 142. He's a
Because Big
big
Dose,
kid.
I'm just not a damn ordinary person, Big Dose. I used to have big bread, bro. Like I'm out there and I'm outside, Big Dose. I'm just injured right now, but I'm outside, bro. I know what goes on out there. And Jose Diaz, he's right there. He's with the Morel camp and all them. He's with David Morel and all them right there. Jose Diaz. He's with David Morel, Ugas, Arislanda Laura. That's Jose Diaz right there. Y'all seen him on TV. He's telling you when they have the private weigh-ins, the boxers aren't making the weight. Earl and Terrence didn't make weight. That's why it was a private weigh-in. It's a source right there in the chat right there, Big Dose. You can talk to him. That's Jose Diaz right there, bro. You asked me for the source. That's Jose Diaz. Jose Diaz, you want to hop up here,
Thank you.
sir?
This is pretty, Mama.
Hey, Jose Diaz, hit the link, sir, if you don't mind.
You got to drop the link again, Upper.
I'm about to drop for Jose Diaz.
Dean, what were you going to ask me real quick? Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, what we doing with Devin if he wins in a Terrence Crawford fashion? What we doing with Devin at that point?
What we're doing with Devin, well, he's already said it. He's saying that he's keeping the belts at 135 for a possible Tank and Shakur showdown. So we have to keep him to his word.
Please, we got to keep it. Thank you, Key, because you know where I was going with that. They keep talking this. Listen here. I've been saying it. Key could tell y'all I've been saying this for months now. Do not be talking about Tank and all this, that, and the third. and that you're going to fight them and all this. But then when you're claiming that you're going to 140, you're going to stay. You got to pick one, bro. It's not we're not about to do hopscotch. We're not about to do hot potato. If you win this fight and you hold on to them belts, you got to fight Tank next, bro. It's simple as that. We don't care how y'all got to get it done. If it's not Tank or Shakur, we don't want to hear if you entertain at 135.
Shout out to Zenith that's in the chat. Let's pass the mic to Aunt
Big
McCool.
Dose. I'm not saying Jose Diaz was at Devin's weigh-in. I'm telling you what happens at a private weigh-in, Big Dose. This is what happens at a private weigh-in. This is why the weigh-in's not live. And
you know what?
And you see when they asked Loma said, I don't know. I think he missed. Remember, Loma said, I don't know if he made weight. He missed. Loma sat there and basically almost told on it, bro. Like, that's what a private weigh-in is, bro. Somebody's not making weight. That's why they're not doing it public.
It's
and I'm
crazy
not trying to hate Big Dose. I'm just keeping it real. You know, y'all over here, so I keep it 100 with y'all, bro, because I know what goes on and behind the scenes, bro. Like, I'm just trying to keep it real for y'all.
I think it's crazy how when people hear about corruption and stuff like that, they'll be like, it's boxing. But then when it's time to apply it, people act like it's impossible or everything on the up and up or that it can't happen.
Shout out to Zenith. Good point, 2 cents. Shout out to Zenith in the chat. That's my boy right there. That's also one of the goats in these YouTube boxing streets.
Genesis.
Savage.
That whole boy. Peace and blessings.
What were you going? Go ahead and chime in. You haven't said anything, sir. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just sitting back enjoying the show. But I think a couple of things that get lost with the Zarea fight in particular is this: the man hardly engaged. Now, if he was just sticking and moving, piecing Regis up, then I would be like, I don't know what to think of Regis coming into this fight. But he barely engaged. I think one of the issues that Regis has isn't necessarily cutting the ring off, but he's got those short arms. I heard somebody say something about him jabbing at the air. He does that in pretty much all of his fights, even in the fights where he has a lot of success with it. And I think that Regis himself knows that he's at a reach disadvantage in most fights. So he's using the jab to do two things: to control the space between he and his opponent, and also to entice them to counter his jab so he can counter them, considering that he's typically at a reach disadvantage. I think he's got like, a 67-inch reach. Going into this fight with Dev, he's going to be at like a 5-inch deficit in regard to reach. So I wouldn't be surprised if that jab continues to look the same. Like my guy D1 said about this being an open stance fight, I think what's going to be interesting is the fact that Dev is going to have to sit down and throw some power punches, because 9 times out of 10, the jab isn't going to be awfully effective. If you look at his fights against Jojo Diaz, against Loma, the jab wasn't overly effective because of the lead hands being in alignment with one another. So you're forced to throw something else. You're either going to lead with the straight right, or you're going to lead with the left hook. And that forces you to be stationary as you're throwing, because 9 times out of 10, you're not going to be moving perpetually as you're throwing a straight right hand. It's going to be extremely difficult to do that, because then you're going to have to punch across your body to do so. So Regis, he's going to have those moments. I think that for him, he's got to mix it up a little bit. He's got to be able to bait Devin and get him, draw him in. Like, you can't catch bees with vinegar. So in some spots, you got to be assertive, be aggressive. But in other spots, look to bait him and get him to throw. So that way, as he's throwing, now he's vulnerable. As the great Bernard Hopkins says, everybody is vulnerable when they're throwing punches. So I think that the notion that Dev is going to just be able to be on the back foot the entire time and be successful, I don't see that being likely in this case, considering that the jab isn't going to be likely as effective as it typically is against orthodox fighters.
Yeah, plus somebody can try to punch through it. And shout out to my guy Rick Timms. I'm gonna get back to you, Ant. Shout out to my guy Rick Timms in the building, and y'all salute to Jose Diaz in the building. Coming up, not this week, but I'm trying to get with him and Jose. Try to get him and David Morel to come on the show and give me an interview here for y'all. But he's the translator, and he's with David Morel. I'm supposed to be talking to him about getting David Morel up here. So y'all make sure y'all show
the best up and coming fighter in boxing right now.
The best
superstar.
David Morel, my guy.
Not play about David Morel.
Oh, matter of fact, here we go right now. Salute to the great Angel Diaz. Mr. Diaz, how you doing today, sir?
Oh, he cut off.
Man, he cut off.
He'll
Damn.
be back on. Upper, drop that link
Trying
again.
to hear that.
But yes, great point, Aunt McQueen, and that was a really good observational point that you made about Zorilla and how his style was for Regis, and you're absolutely right. He just wasn't. It was
All right,
like,
here you go. Here you go, y'all.
huh?
Here you go.
Okay, go ahead.
Mr. Diaz, how you doing today, sir?
How you doing? How you doing? How's everybody?
How you doing, Mr. Diaz?
I was telling them about you get
Cool.
Morel over here so we can talk to Morel one day whenever you get a chance.
We did a live chat with him last night. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I was trying to get him over here.
If you want to hear speed talking, when we talk Spanish, go 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, get you to come over here and translate for me. But I appreciate you, Mr. Diaz.
I'll translate whenever you want. I'll get all my Skywalker has all my information. I have to tell him right now, hey, shoot me the link.
Yeah, I sent you the thing. I sent you the thing on Instagram, and you know you already moderated over here. But yeah, Mr. Diaz, since you're here right now, can you explain to people what a private weigh-in is?
Okay, guys, they do the private weigh-in before, so to see if you make weight. Okay, they do it hidden, and that's, let me tell you, sometimes they don't make weight. It's money. It's money. Let me tell you, they make weight to see if they can make weight in front of the videos, but sometimes they don't. It's all blue. It's all money. It's all money.
Yeah, and yeah, hey Jose, tell Morel I said he stops Benavidez. I tell him I got him stop Benavidez in 6 rounds.
Hey, Upper, do you mind if I ask Mr. Diaz a question?
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Hey, Mr. Diaz, man, I'm one of the biggest David. I don't think it's too many people on YouTube that shout David Morel name more than I do, because
I do, brother.
I see talent. You know what I mean? And I wanted to know,
brother. I do the videos.
Oh, for sure. No, I was just saying, Mr. Diaz, I wanted to know, what do y'all think y'all have to do on your side to get David Morel to the American public, for everybody to see his talent, for everybody to see that he's a generational talent, and one of the best fighters, I think, of our generation, if he get that spotlight? What you think is some of the things y'all working on, and to just get him out there? Because I truly believe that boxing is at a disservice if somebody like him is not at the forefront of it.
First, I want to say, guys, Ronnie Shields has made him a lot better. A lot. King Kong told me one day that's one of the best talents I've ever seen. And what he has to do is just get exposure and fight somebody. Like, let's get him with Caleb Plant. Let's get him with Caleb Plant. That's what we're working on now.
So
yeah, I'm always shout him out on this page right here. You know, I always put the videos out. Big Dose, he don't stand a chance. Big Dose, he ain't got no defense to fuck with Morel, bro. I'm just keeping it real.
So do you think, and again, I'm one of, I too, just like the other two esteemed gentlemen has said, I'm a huge David Morel fan. And I just came back from Cuba, so shout out to the Cuban people. But I wanted to ask you, do you think that Caleb Plant is he entertaining that a possibility of a fight with you all, or do you sense some hesitation?
Well, we just started to talk to him, his team, but I don't have nothing written down, but he hasn't said yes yet. I mean, they know we're after him. We're after whoever. They don't have to stay busy.
What resistance have you had with trying to get Morel versus Benavidez? Has there been any resistance?
We sent them the contract, nothing back.
Yeah, I did the video on it because they sat there and said they signed everything with Samson. They said that if they didn't fight Canelo, then they was gonna fight Morel. But then after it fell through, then they act like they didn't say Morel's name, and they had to choose either Morel or Benavidez or Boo Boo, and they chose Andrade instead of Morel. I did a whole thing about that.
That's true. And the thing is, dude, I like Benavidez too. He's good. He's good. I'm from Cuba, but he's good. But sign the contract because that ring does
Signed the
not lie.
contract.
Hey, that ring does not lie. Guys, that's what we want. Great matches.
Yes.
Benavidez and him, they could have made a lot of money.
Yes.
They're slowing down everything. Now Benavidez is going to go up to 175 after Andrade, after Boo. That's what I heard. So,
So I got a question about the making weight. So if a fighter don't make weight, is it just to their discretion? Would they be like, "Oh, you didn't make weight, you lose," or how do they decide to keep it a secret or tell? Like, how do they make that decision?
Depends on how big the fight is.
exactly. And also another thing, guys, honestly, if it's a black American fighter, don't put it out there. If it's a Latino or a white fighter,
They're not putting that out there. Okay.
Oh,
I
wow.
appreciate you saying that,
Saying
Mr.
something.
Diaz.
Y'all
That's
should have
so
been through that
real.
though.
That's so real, Mr. D. I appreciate you saying that because that's just hard truth right there.
I mean, it's called the complexion for the connection. Y'all know that.
Because name a fighter that wasn't a black and American fighter that you know of that missed weight. Now that you're saying that and I'm thinking about it.
Clambiro.
Hey Diaz, what do you think, Mr. Diaz, that the Mexican fighters are allowed to have clenbuterol in their system, but not the Cuban fighters?
You know that. You know when he tested positive, he had 10 times of the clenbuterol you were supposed to have in your body. Times.
And see, that's why I tell people after 24 hours, it dissipates in your system.
Yes.
So they caught him right after he made the dose because you can have up to 10, 15 times, but in a day, it's going to be all in your system. So it's going to be under the level that they got.
Exactly. And then the thing is, it also comes injectable. It's called Novagam in Mexico. And it comes also injectable. And the injectable gets out of your system even faster.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, Mr. Diaz, can I say this to you? I just wanted to say this because David Morel is one of my, besides Tank Davis, Dave Morel probably is my second favorite fighter right now at this moment. I just wanted to say this. A guy of his caliber, a guy of his talent, if you could relate the message to him and let him know that the people in America, we rocking with him. It's not the fans.
Facts.
It's not us that's not willing to buy his fight. It's not us that's not willing to support him, especially from the black American fighters. We love his style. We like how he carry himself. And like I said, I just would like for him to get more exposure. I know it's hard when he doesn't speak the best English and stuff, but I see so many other fighters get a push. The Issa Cruzes and the Lomachenkos, and there's no shot to them. But I just think that he deserves that because it's not just for us. It's the disservice of boxing. It's not just even him. You got guys like Raymond Matala and certain people that's not getting talked about that I think that are talents that just need to. So if you can relate that message to him from us, that people rocking with you, man, and to get stuff and to put that pressure on these sanctioning bodies and these promoters and everything, because we just want to see him on that big stage, man. That's all.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
And I got another thing. How's Andy Cruz looking, Jose?
He's looking good. Look, Mr. Boots. Mr. Boots is boxing with him, and Mr. Boots dead. I was gonna tell you this right now. My favorite fighter today, honestly, Boots. Terrence Crawford.
Philly in the bill.
Mine too.
Terrence Crawford did his thing, but I've never seen Spence like that. But whatever. We got another fight coming. If it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. It's not, I don't know. But Boots, he's playing games and they're knocking out everybody.
That's what I said Morel and Boots is the future. Morel and Boots, they are the future. When this old class gone, that's the new class right there. And I said ain't nobody gonna mess with Boots until he hit about 160, 168, because he gonna run through 147 and 154. And I feel like Morel runs through everything to a bridger weight. I feel like he runs through light heavyweight, cruiser, and bridger.
I agree.
Morel is on demon time.
That Boots is my favorite. Terrence, right now, I would say he's pound for pound, but
yes,
I like Boots. Boots,
Me too. Boots.
joking in there, having fun, and destroying everybody. I feel sorry for him.
He's definitely
They
playing.
won't sign to fight him.
So do you think, who would you say, Mr. Diaz, who would you say with your experience and your knowledge in this game, if there was a fight announced for a Boots versus Bud, who would you go with?
Boots. No. Today,
Okay.
that's a tough one. Hey, after what I saw, but remember, they said something about the wraps. His glove broke, but I'm not making no excuses. Spence made no excuse. I gotta give him that. I gotta give Spence that. He didn't say no. I want my next fight, and it's in the contract. Give that man his next fight.
Yeah.
What'd you say about the raps and stuff, Diaz? I missed that.
Oh, you didn't know what happened? Okay, you can wrap it right on your hand. You gotta have some kind of
Gauze up under it. You gotta have the gauze
Exactly.
up under it.
I know how to say it in Spanish, but
stacking
like what I said,
You talking about he stacked it.
Stacking wraps.
That glove broke, and I've never seen Spence like that.
So he had it like a plaster cast. So he made it like a plaster cast, like Margarito.
Another Margarito.
What made you say what is making you say this? Did you see it, or is it like you witnessed this before? Like what made you say that about the cast?
South America, the things that you see are horrible. They're like, don't wear gloves. Don't wear gloves. Not South America, what I've seen. Don't wear gloves. What are you wearing gloves for? God.
But what do you? But in Vegas, it's I think that type of rap is legal, isn't it?
And there's a bunch of states that it is legal. Yes, you're correct. But
yeah, it is legal to stack your raps in Vegas. That's what Monster Anyway was saying, that it was legal to rap them in Vegas like that.
It is.
So do you think that they should put that in the contract moving forward if there's a Spence versus Bud too, about the type of stacking that can be done?
Well, he should stack his then.
Stack his then, exactly. Fire with fire.
Both have the same gloves, the same everything. So
I mean, I believe they both had Everlast. So
yeah,
They
but
did.
did arrows look like that? Did arrows go straight and past that? No, his thumb strap was cut, which is illegal in boxing. To pin your arm, there's so many benefits to cutting that strap on your glove.
With that thumb right there.
You got more area to cover on your face. Your glove covers the whole entire thing, the top of your head. It's not supposed to go past that.
And you can use that thumb as a mover, like using it to direct people's movement.
Your pin positioning, it's highly illegal.
And you can pin somebody, you can poke them in the eye, everything.
Yeah,
highly illegal what he's doing with his gloves.
You said he did this in the Earl fight.
Yeah, his thumb was loose.
So did it break?
The strap?
The
strap that keeps your hand in a cup is cut. It's highly illegal.
Did it break during the fight, or was it cut?
It cut, man. There's no way to break that strap.
Ain't no breaking during the fight, bro. That's not gonna happen.
Wilder ain't even broke them things yet, bro. And Wilder a hard puncher. Hulk ain't broke that shit. Tyson
them are the best made gloves in boxing. It doesn't just break or rip.
I mean, we seen previews of it. We seen previews of it in the Avanesian fight, but I'm not going there. You know, Earl didn't make no excuse. I ain't making no excuse.
Me either. Me either.
Mr. Diaz,
Oh, you kind of are making an excuse, but I feel you.
No, I ain't making an excuse. I'm making an observation. It's a difference. It's a difference. You gotta get the observation and excuses are different, John Norris.
Spence made no excuses.
So I'm not making one. Just get him the next fight. Let's see what it is.
Pay attention to his gloves next fight.
Just do the same thing. Shit.
So if it's worse at 154, then what we're gonna say?
I mean,
I don't think
it's legal to stack in Vegas. So Bud didn't do nothing illegal. It's legal to stack. So stack right back. Shit.
Yep.
And you know you got Blu-ray now, so maybe you can get you some supplements in your system too.
I wanted to ask you about that. Is Spence back with Blu-ray? Because
it's Batman and Robin again.
I seen Blue Blood come on and be like, "Oh, that's not true." I seen Fannin do a video.
Don't listen to Blue Blood say.
I really don't, but I was curious.
Oh, my bad. My bad.
Yeah, I don't like to go. I mean, Blue Blood, he all right with me, but he be capping, so I don't want to have to say nothing bad about it because I call balls and strikes like KQKC.
Yeah,
So if you bring it up, I'm gonna have to keep it 100. So don't have me do that to him. But like I'm
Okay.
saying, Blu-ray came out and said it. He said I'm back with Earl temporarily, so they back together right now. That's what that man said. So
I don't.
ain't nothing nobody else say. No other concrete creator that be capping all day can tell you different.
So,
No matter what.
Mr. Diaz, I have a question. What do you think about weight jumping, increasing weights, like going from 154 to 168 or 147 to 168? How do you see that playing out? Because there's a big push for a Bud versus Canelo. Even though I think if Morel has more entitlement over a Canelo fight than Bud Crawford, but let's say that this was to be the case, how do you see that playing out? And what is your opinions on the weight jumping?
first of all, I think Canelo's not gonna fight Crawford. Not gonna fight Morel or none of them. I don't think he's gonna fight Benavides. No. And jumping those weight classes makes a difference of your body. A big difference. You get heavier, you get slower. You get heavier, you get slower. So you gotta go up, then come back down, trim down. But you don't go up that much, but you get slower. Like I'll give you an example. Uh, don't do weight. Don't do heavy weight because you're gonna get slower. Let me tell you, when they jump all those weights up, it does fill your muscle more, so that's why you get slower. Canelo does everything for a reason, guys. Come on.
So do you think that, thank you for your answer, and you are true, Canelo does do everything for a reason.
That's a fact.
Do you think that, how do you see, because we were talking about the Regis versus Devin Haney fight, do you think that anything as far as Devin going up 5 pounds, do you think that that would slow him down, or is it more of a notice if he was to go from 135 to 147?
I think Devin should go up because I think he's depleting his body, and he's a man already. You know, I haven't been 135 pounds since like 10th grade in high school, and I'm 5'7", 200. Guys, it makes a difference. Devin is destroying his body. I think he should move up. It destroyed him.
Hey, Mr. Diaz, I wanted to ask you, how is David Morel doing as far as his mental, his focus? How does he feel about where he's at in his career, and just things like that? Is he like yeah, just how he feeling as far as his career, his training, everything that he got going on? Is he anxious?
Shout out to KQKC. Sorry about that, bro. The OG. Peace and blessings, KQ. Wow, wow, wow.
The singing OG.
OG.
Yeah, let me tell you, David Morel feels real good. He just wants to fight. That's why we're gonna try to do Caleb Plant against him. Yeah, and then the thing is now that Benavides is going up to 175 after this fight, win or lose. That's what he said. So yeah, that's what he said. So he wants Benavides or the winner. He wants the winner.
Why do you think, Mr. Diaz? Why is, and I'm not just saying that I'm not saying that Morel is like picking or anything on Benavides, but why is his focus was so set squarely on Benavides? Is it something that he saw? Does he think that he's better? Like, what is it about Benavides?
Like, I'm telling you, we Cubans are hard headed. His dad got on TV, on YouTube, and talking a little trash, and we sent him the contract.
Yes, he was, Mr. Diaz.
He was, right? And look, we're normally humble. Let's fight. Let's do this. Then his dad comes on. David should have come on and spoken, not his dad. But you know what? Mr. Benavides is a good person. David's a good person too. But I think that will be a good fight.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, just let David know we support him, man. We out here, we clamoring for him. We trying our best out here, man. We try. I know the politics of boxing, Mr. Diaz, but we trying our best out here. Just let him know that.
Yes, thank you. I really
And
appreciate
I have Morel knocking Plant out
For
7 through 9
sure.
rounds. That's not it's man,
Move out.
Plant gonna get tore up by Morel. And
that.
but to be honest with you,
I
Mr. D,
would love to see Plant fight Morel. That way people can see Morel's boxing ability, because people don't realize his boxing ability is growing with each fight. The man
Yep.
has equal power. And his boxing, his footwork, he got that Cuban school of boxing. It's like
Yes.
a Cuban boxer with the power of Wilder and Tank. And people don't realize it, but he's still young. Tell him he's still young, Diaz.
Yep. He's 26.
Yeah, he ain't even got his peak 28 to 33 strength yet. You
He
know,
still has to do more, you know. He's gonna
Yes,
get
sir.
stronger, you know.
and I also I also think too, going off of what Tucker was just saying, I also think that the Plant fight would be a good a statement. Morel needs a statement
Yeah.
fight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And now another thing, I always bother him, and I tell him, "Hey, go fight Arthur Benavidez." That's what I tell him to
Why
bother him.
not?
Yeah. I know Arthur will sign. They say you're not ready. I go, well, okay. How do we know you're ready? Throw him at the ring. The ring is
Yep.
time. Let's do this. But you know, at
But
Bevel, that's another one. We'll go up to 175, but guys, I don't know. Boxing, you know the way it is. It's money, money. And you know what? One of my favorite boxers is Arthur. That guy is a machine. That guy is he. Whatever he hits, he breaks. Guys, I'm telling you that guy. That's one fight I want to see Bivol Benavidez. But next time, let's see if when Benavidez goes to 175, if he fights Arthur. That's what I want to see. Why is he moving up to 175? He running from Morel, or go see the best of 175?
Yeah, he
That's
running.
okay. He's running. He's sprinting like Usain Bolt. I'm telling you,
Y'all think he getting too big for the weight?
he's a big guy. And to make that weight, it sucks, and you know, it's. I don't know. I would stay at 168 and fight Morel if he beats Boo Boo.
If.
Yeah, he has to fight.
If.
He has to think about Boo Boo first. Forget Morel for now. Boo Boo, he's coming soon. So,
Is
and Boo Boo, no joke.
is there an option on the table for the David Morel? I'm sorry, for the Benavidez and Andrade winner for David Morel? Like, could they, like, the winner of that, would they be able to face? Is that even an option?
Yeah, Benavidez already said after this fight he's moving up to 175. That's what he said.
And what
Yeah.
is your, Mr. Diaz, with your, because you said, you mentioned earlier that you know a lot of the pretty much the dirty tricks that's involved when it comes to boxing. What is your opinion, if you have any, on, or your insight on this whole conversation regarding supplements and snack and all this other stuff? Like, do you think that that is could that be labeled as some like a PED, or do you think that that enhances fighters? Like, what is your insight on that?
Okay. I went to Westminster Christian. I played baseball with Alex Rodriguez, and then Alex Rodriguez was there. Manny Ramirez was there. A bunch of other baseball players. Canseco, that guy's a freaking refrigerator. He's the biggest jerk you guys have ever met. So we go to Broward, and I met that guy Conti. Do not trust that guy. How do you become the big steroid dealer in South America? I mean, South Florida, because he was in Broward. I was in Dade County. He came up to me. What do you need? And I was like, nothing. You're a cop. Nothing. You're a cop. Why? Okay. Why are you writing? No, I told him like this. I go, why are you writing everything down? What are you doing? Writing evidence down? And then he told me, get out of my place. And I go, get out of your place, man. I'm running out of here. Boom.
Yes, sir.
Telling you guys, now he's doing snack. My buddies that have tried snack told me it works too good. It works too well.
Wow.
So there's
And
so
that's the over the counter stuff, right?
Yep.
Yep, those little capsules. And I go, don't take that. And then how do you become the biggest steroid dealer in South Florida? Then get that job. I guess it's good to be the correct color.
So I was informed, Mr. Diaz, that when it comes to contracts being sent out, that you want to do it ahead of time because of fighters cycling, correct?
What you do is you want to do it ahead of time, so they give you the urine tests, and then you can see. But remember, now they're doing Olympic style. That's not urine tests, and they can come to you whenever they want.
Yeah, that's what
Benavidez,
Regis Prograis just said.
Benavidez said no to the Olympic style. You guys know that, right?
Yes.
Yep.
He said no. Why? They can come and take blood from me whenever you want. I'm making that amount of money. I don't care. I'll
Yeah, I
take
wouldn't
it.
care neither. That's
So how are fighters supposed to be prepared for those that are denying these tests? Because the fans want to see it, and you know, Mr. Diaz, that it's pretty much casual boxing fans that run boxing right now. You know, the more casuals you have, the better it is. And if the fight is made, but this person is saying no to these type of tests, what can the fighter who is complying with these tests, what can they do to prepare themselves so they won't get KO'd or won't be at a disadvantage?
You're correct. 1 and 1 equals 2. The thing as I could do is either look what Floyd Mayweather did to Pac-Man. It took
yes.
5 years. 5 years. Yo, how much juice are you on? Sorry, I like Pac-Man, but sorry. 5 years. The only thing they could do is put it in the contract.
Okay.
And if they don't sign, that's the only thing I could think. Put it in the contract. The Olympic style testing is the best. Or just take a hair.
Or take the hair, yes. Because that go
Or
back,
they
what,
fight
10
them.
years,
They
Mr.
fight them
Diaz? 8
anyway, because
years?
just because you with snack don't mean you gonna win.
But then look at
That hair
what
goes back.
Margarito.
That hair
Look at
goes
what.
back as long as you got that hair.
Yeah,
Say that
yeah,
again, Upper. You was breaking up, Brody. What you just say?
I said that hair goes back as long as you've had that hair. It has your DNA sequence for everything you've done as long as you've had that hair.
Wow,
the
I ain't
root,
know that.
the
Okay.
root. Yeah, the root has everything in there. Yep, he's right.
So
Guys,
Wow.
it's not that hard. It's just they don't really want to test them. It's
Right.
all money. It's sad. Let me tell you, like Drew says, because I listen to Drew tell me, the sport we love does not love that.
so what do you think moving forward, since there's going to be, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, there's going to be changes amongst the networks, not just with PBC, but amongst everyone, Top Rank, DAZN, everyone is going to go through some major changes within this upcoming year. So what do you think can be implemented to bypass or even eradicate all of these all of the drug, the PED users, snack, whatever the case may be? Like, what can be done as a whole for boxing, because that's doing a disservice to the public.
Okay. The first thing you gotta do is, guys, order a box of snack and look at the bottom, and it doesn't say USPD, United States Pharmaceuticals. That means it has never been checked by the United States. That's the
Wow.
first thing. Look at the weight gainers. They do not say USP, United States Pharmaceuticals. They haven't been checked. So when they have to check everything just to
Yes.
make even playing field. That's all we want. Even playing field. You guys imagine this. I was a baseball player. Imagine your son is pitching to me, and I'm a freaking tank like Canseco was, and he hits a line drive up the middle and hits your child in the chest or in the head.
Mhm.
that guy used to hit the ball 500 feet. This is the same thing in boxing. You're gonna hit harder, you're gonna last longer.
And
If
there's
it
people
doesn't
lives
change,
on the line. And Mr.
But
Diaz, I was saying the same thing. Like, for these people to put somebody like Victor Conti, because I've been arguing against all this stuff, but saying that we can't just accuse people of this, that, and the third if we ain't if the testing people ain't gonna come up with things that are so sophisticated, whereas though that's their job, Mr. Diaz, to find this stuff. What is the sanctioning bodies and the boxers and everybody paying you for? And y'all not going to find the stuff that you need to find. Like, this is the whole point.
I
I
think
got
that we think that's their job to do it. Because if we're honest, if boxing wanted to be a clean sport, they wouldn't have even never let Victor Conti come in the sport. Not
That's a
only
great
did you
point.
let Victor Conti come in the sport, you got him controlling the testing.
one more thing.
If Victor Conte is what he
But
Diaz says he is, which is
Conte,
he's
Conte,
an inside job, that
but
kind of
Victor,
did help clean up the sport a bit.
but look, Victor Conte, he's giving them legal supplements though. He's not giving them illegal stuff. What he's
But
doing is he's giving people supplements that are not illegal yet. Skywalker boxing salute, homie.
Skywalker,
Yeah, he's giving them supplements that are legal. Now, when they become illegal, then he takes it off of his roster. But until then, they're legal. They're legal drugs. Like clenbuterol used to be legal until they found out it was an anabolic steroid. And until then,
no. Clenbuterol is not a steroid; it's an asthma medication.
yeah, it's for your
It is an
respiratory.
asthma medication. I had asthma. That's a
Yeah,
fact. It's an asthma medication.
yeah, it's a respiratory steroid. But
Yeah, it's a steroid.
Yeah,
yeah,
but it attacks your brown sugar cells. So what happens after that? You lose weight, and it opens up your lungs. But that stuff, when I was in South America, when I didn't have my albuterol, I took half a tablet. My hands were like this, shaking. My heart was pump, 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 pump. It's called Novagam. Guys, good. You feel like you're, yeah, they took my asthma away. Now I feel like I'm having a heart attack.
yeah. So
Yeah,
see,
that's some old school stuff back in the day.
a lot of this is legal until the FDA rules it not legal. So Victor Conte, he's going by the FDA guidelines because he might be skating on the outside of it, but as long as he stays within the guidelines, I mean, you can't get him for illegal PDDs.
The
But I
last
will say
place
this to
Victor
you,
Conte
Upper.
should be
Let me
is
tell
a
y'all a quick
boxing ring.
story. I had
Anywhere near it.
asthma. I had asthma growing up, yo, and I played sports. I ain't gonna get too much into what I did, but I was a pretty good sports player: boxing, football, basketball. And I had to keep my asthma pump on the side. By the time I became 16, 17, Upper, I didn't
You
have
grew out
asthma
of
no more. I didn't
you grew
have it
out
at
of
all. You understand? Like, I don't have trouble with that no more. So
yeah.
I actually know that it worked. I know it worked for a
I
fact.
had bronchitis and stuff. I grew out of my asthma and bronchitis.
Yeah, so I know it worked, Upper, and that's why it should. I'm glad that it's not allowed in boxing because me and you could contest it does work.
Definitely works.
So, Mr. Diaz, do you think that with these with everything that's going on, and with we have a couple of players in that division with Morel moving up, do you think that it's going to be harder moving forward if Plant denies the fight? Do you think that
Great question.
Morel is going to be starved out?
Who is it? There's nobody else pretty much he's gonna fight because everybody else he's gonna fight, they're gonna call it it's a bum, it's this, it's that. It has to be Caleb Plant or move up. I don't know.
But do you think that he would his body map, because David is still young and he's still just starting out. So do you think it'd be wise from a business perspective to be able to just go ahead? I'm not saying he didn't make the noise. We all know that David Morel is a bad man. He's already made the noise to me. But do you think that it'd be a good business decision for
And
him?
his amateur career is great too. He got a great amateur career as well, though. People don't think about that.
So do you think that it'll be wise for him? You're absolutely correct, Upper. Do you think it'll be wise for him to, from a business perspective, to just go ahead and just say, forget it, since he's being starved out of this division, and move up? Because I honestly, Mr. Diaz, in my humble opinion, I think he'll have the same problems at a higher weight class as well.
But then the higher weight class, he's got the vote, and he's got Look, I really don't want him to fight.
Better Diaz and Bivol, but I think he needs to get he needs to get the experience down at 168 with a great fighter there before he move up to fight Bivol or better Diaz. Honestly, that's what
Plant first, I think. But hey, guys, they don't want to fight him. They send him. He sends the contracts. And
what about M. Billy? You think M. Billy will fight him?
Hey, if he wants to fight, David will sign. I guarantee that.
For sure.
Hey, gonna beat M. Billy ass, Mr. Diaz.
Hey, Mr. Diaz. I wanted to say this to you, Mr. Diaz, because that's the problem with boxing right there. The fact that these guys, it's not about them. It's about the fact of us, the fans, the people that pay what we want to pay. Everybody know, like Mr. Diaz, I feel sad for your guy, for your fighter, because it's like David Morel is the best kept secret, and like everybody knows what he does, but they just want to hide behind that corner. You know what I'm saying? They want to turn their back when his name get mentioned. It's like the boogeyman. Don't say it 3 times. So that's the problem with boxing. And everybody talk about they got the love for the sport. How you got love for the sport if David Morel's not a bigger fighter than he is? Even if Shakur Stevenson, he's not a bigger fighter than he is. Raymond Matala, they're not bigger fighters than they are when they probably the best competition at their weight class, Mr. Diaz, and that part hurts me.
Let me tell you, Shakur, special, doesn't get hit. He's special. And let me tell you, the thing is, they try to just, like they're doing right now, Gamboa is still in Cuba. You know what they're doing to Gamboa, which I think is good. He should never fight again. He's been knocked out too many times. They're going to hold him down there for something that he did. It wasn't his fault. They're going to age him out in Cuba. Why'd you go back to Cuba? Your whole family's here.
See, Gamboa was my guy. Like, he was the Cyclone da Guantanamo. Like, I was mad that him and Juanman didn't get that fight because I was waiting to see him versus Juanman and him versus Mikey Garcia down there. Those were the 2 big fights, and we didn't get that. That Money Team thing messed up Gamboa. Was Rock Nation one of them? Then he ended up going up 2 weight classes to fight Terrence Crawford and messed up his whole career.
He should have never fought Terrence.
He should have never fought Crawford. He should have fought at 130.
Hey, this for Upper and Mr. Diaz, because I wanted to know this, and I know y'all gonna love this question. Mr. Diaz, can you tell me why Cuban fighters, why they stall y'all out until y'all get to the age of 24 and 25 and 26? I never understood that.
It's hard for them to get over here. Like, it's hard for them to get over here. Like, over there in the Cuban fighters, like the Cuban government, a lot of them just stay there and it's wait till they get past a certain age before they can defect over here.
That's so corny, man.
I have something to tell you right now. You remember Julio Cesar La Cruz?
Yes.
He's come here, he's fought his fights, and he goes back over there. He likes that.
Like Andy Cruz. Like Andy Cruz. He's going to make his money and go back to Cuba. Like, like a lot of them love Cuba over there. They love the regime that's over there, but you know, you just got to get permission to go over there and fight, and you got to give a percentage of your payments.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And Andy Cruz likes it, and so does Julio Cesar. But Andy Cruz is with Boots and that camp, and he's learning now. But Julio Cesar, he's back over there. Look, we have Mr. Salas. We have what's the name of this other coach? They're all screaming and everything. And I'm like, yo, man, let the man live his life. If he wants to do that, let them do that. But they want to make money here, get taxed here. They want to go over there. And
they're heroes over in Cuba. Like, they live in Cuba. They national heroes and everything. You can't beat that. A person home is where they like to be at. But they get this big money here. And they win $1 million here. They go back to live the rest of their life in luxury over in Cuba.
Okay. Okay.
That's really good insight, Upper and Mr. Diaz. I have 2 more questions. One came from the chat. Coach Amber, she's actually I call her one of the sheroes of the YouTube boxing and just boxing in general.
Yes, she is.
Coach Amber has done a lot to put women boxing. She was part of that the forefront of putting women boxing to where it is now. So her question is, she said that she would like to know more about the asthma because I've had fighters with it. None of that were at the world level, but I was told if necessary, I can give them their pumps between rounds. Is that true? If they have asthma, they can give asthma pumps, the Buterol to them, to the fighters in between rounds if they have asthma, sir?
At first, make sure everybody subscribe to Key Alexandra, my co-host. I just dropped her link in there. Y'all make sure y'all see she asking the tough questions. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to her. Thank you.
Every state is different with that question.
Okay.
Some things they do because they say it gives you more energy because it opens up the lungs. And in other states, no. You have to look that up. The thing is, it does. Let's say you're like, you need air, and that opens up your lungs. It opens up your lungs. You get more. Every state is different, just like the raps.
Okay.
Just like the raps.
And with your lungs is open, you're giving your muscles more energy, more power. You're able to
More
inflate your
oxygen.
muscles. Like you can push your muscles to a different limit. Like
Fact.
your muscles, like say like your muscles working at 100%. With that extra lung capacity and the extra power, you push your muscles to 150%.
Yep.
So it'll make you like superhuman.
Energy. More energy.
So, and then my last question for you, Mr. Diaz, and I thank you for taking this time out. Again, we all
Yes, thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for this. And again, we love David Morel. We love the work that you guys are doing, and he is in great hands with the Ennis camp. He is in great hands. So, my last question for you, sir, is with this talk about everything from PD, snack, whatever the case may be, do you think that fighters who are caught or is visibly noticed that of what they're doing, does it negate from the wins that they're getting?
Oh, yes. They cheating. 100%. Imagine they have an edge. Guys, look, steroids work like this. It's not only they get you stronger, bigger, faster, everything. You recuperate. That's the main thing. You recuperate much faster.
Recovery.
Stamina.
Stamina. On fight night, you're a bull.
Yep.
A freaking 500% bull. Bro, like this. And then the thing is, a lot of them, they start out real fast and everything, but they continue to have energy. Steroids are, if they want to take that in their behind, do whatever you want to do, but they're always going to pay for it. But does it make a difference? Yes. Do you recover a lot faster? Yes.
Hey, y'all.
Gives you more wind? Yes. More lungs? Yes.
But can the same be said about the snack, though? Do you think that negates from the win if it's found out that these boxers are actively using that product? From your insight, sir.
That is a great question because the thing is, they have never tested it for that. They have never tested it for that because it's not illegal yet. That's why I tell everybody, stay away from that. Stay away from that guy. And he's a little, I'm not going to say, but he's out of shape. Maybe he needs snack.
Hey, Mr. Diaz, I wanted to say this to you before I go because my kid's getting a little rowdy. Upper and Key, I appreciate y'all. 2 cents. You already know John Norrie. We gonna get it in later. I wanted to say this to you, Mr. Diaz, because this is the most important part, man. If you could tell David Morel, man, just keep going. Because I think he could be where Tank is at. Like, I think he could be that type of star. It ain't no think. I know what I'm watching. I know what I'm looking at. And I just will. I don't like people not getting their credit, Mr. Diaz. So that's why I'm so passionate about it, because I care about my sport. I care about the future of the sport. And if people like David Morel aren't put where they're justifiably supposed to be, then we doing a disservice to ourselves. So if you could let him know, man, keep going, keep doing what he gotta do, because he can be that pay-per-view attraction, no doubt, hands down.
Yeah, he can be. Let me tell you, Tank is my favorite 135 guys, but yeah.
Mine too.
Hey, look,
He's the man.
One punch, it's over.
Do you think that moving forward, and this is, you know what, it's not, I'm not even gonna pose this as a question, I'm just gonna pose this as someone that's well traveled. When I visited Cuba and other Latin countries, shout out to all those people over there, one thing that I did notice is the language barrier. And one thing that I would recommend to your team, if you guys choose to, is definitely up to you. And I won't fault it if you guys don't, if you don't decide to do this. But one thing that I will say is that coming to get that more exposure in America, what I would recommend for David to start learning English. So that way, when the press conferences come, he can talk that stuff. You know what I'm saying? He could really sell it, because we know inside the ring, we already know what he's one of the best. But I think that the press conference is how they sell it. And because he, coming up, he will have fights. I really want him to, I want him to get versed in that trash talking game, Mr. Diaz, like in English, so that it won't be a barrier. You get what I'm saying?
Yes, yes. He is. He's trying. And you know who knows a lot of English that you guys don't know? King Kong. He knows a lot of English.
Yeah.
David, he is learning English.
Hey,
Yeah,
Brian King, salute to your cousin, man. Wish him peace and blessings. And if y'all get a chance, man, y'all subscribe to the new channel. That's the show that me and Key will be on tonight. We come on every night right there. And I got a new video on that. Y'all make sure y'all check it out. It's about feminism and women being drafted for the war.
Well, is there any more questions? John Nori, 2 cents. D1 Upper, is there any more questions for one of the best in the business, Mr. Diaz?
Nah, that's it right there. I appreciate your time, Jose, Mr. Diaz. And,
Thank you so
Me too.
much.
Thanks, Jose.
when you get a chance, tell Morel I'm trying to get him on the show between 2 and 4. Like I go to that thing tonight and talk to you about it. Like but I'm gonna send it to you on Instagram. But tell him I'm trying to get him on the show so people can get views for him, so they can see who Morel is, push him to my platform, because that's my guy right there, and I feel like he's gonna do great.
And I want to say thank you for your honesty. Thank you for coming on. You didn't have
James Dunnigan.
You didn't have to do this. I want to say thank you for your honesty. Thank you for being transparent with the sport. I think more coaches, more people that know what goes on in the background needs to be pushed to the forefront. And not only do I think that they are blocking and trying to starve David Morel out, but I think that they are trying to do that with people like you, because of your honesty, your transparency. You have no dog in this fight. You just want to get the best fights. So I thank you for coming on. I thank you for sharing your experiences, your insight. And we cannot wait to see David Morel and you guys back in the ring where y'all belong, winning, and Plant bet not back up out of this, man.
You better not duck that smoke.
Plant fights anybody, though.
We'll see.
Yeah, I like that Plant fight.
All right, well, peace and blessings to everybody. And we had a great show today. Appreciate you, Mr. Diaz.
Thank you.
I'm gonna let everybody get their closing thoughts so we can go get our just do of boxing. I know we went a little over today, but hey, some things can't be helped. I'm gonna let you start, Mr. Diaz, if you want.
Everybody, thank you. Thank you for supporting the Cuban boxers. I'm telling you, my favorite boxer is Boots. Terrence and Boots, but the thing is that now, whoa, let's see what happens. Let's see who fights. And thank you so much. And whenever you want a translation, anything, Skywalker has my phone number.
All right.
My cell phone. So we can work it out.
I'm gonna hit you on Instagram, because I hit you on Instagram the other night.
Okay. Bet that up.
Right.
All right.
Okay.
2 cents, Queen. What do you any last words, Queen?
With Mr. Diaz, as always, it was really good talking to you. It's always good to talk to somebody in the business and be able to ask questions to somebody that's behind the scenes. Upper, I wanted to I think I need your IG or something. I want to DM you. I've been going live lately. I want to get you on the show. And if everybody, I'm gonna drop my link in the chat. If you're not following me, y'all can subscribe to my channel. I've been doing live shows lately. Y'all can join me over there and we can chit chat like we do over here. But this was a nice show today, Upper. Mr. Diaz, again, I appreciate you coming on. Key, Nori, and I can't see whoever the last is. That Dean? Whoever the last person is. It was good chopping it up with y'all today.
Thank you, Queen. D1, is that you? You have any
Yes,
last?
D1. That's D1.
Yeah, it's me.
D1, you want to get your last thoughts, bro?
Yeah, I'll see y'all at fucking Just Do. Peace and blessings to all you. It was great chopping it up with you, Jose. Have a good one.
All
See you
right.
tomorrow.
It's on you, John Noor.
Yeah, this is a great boxing talk. Salute to you, Jose Diaz, 2 Cent, D1, Key, Dean, Upper. This was a great show. I'm glad you guys came on. We can hear the facts and, so we can have better opinions about this boxing talk. And I wish the best for Morel. I like that Morel versus Caleb Plant fight. I feel like y'all really need to push for that. I feel like it's a very good statement fight for him for 168. And, if it doesn't work out 168, I wouldn't be mad about you guys going up there to 175 chasing them fights. I feel like Morel is more than competitive at this point. With a lot of those guys, I feel like he might need 1 or 2 just to get acclimated to the weight, and he'll be a big piece in that 175 puzzle up there. So, wishing you guys the best. Cuban boxing, keeping it real. Y'all have a good one.
All right. And I'd like to thank all y'all for coming out today. Peace and blessings to all of y'all. We did a great show today, and I'm gonna let Key Alexander close it out.
Thank you guys for coming. Shout out to Dean, Rick Timms, King. Shout out to you, 2 Cents Boxing the Queen, Coach Amber. All things as always. Thank you. Black all day. I hate saying that whole boy. Shout out to you. Shout out to Brian King. And we are rooting for your cousin Kings with the amateurs. So shout out to you. And make sure you tap in with us and let us know how he does in his amateur career, because amateurs are very, very important. That's how the companies are built.
Yeah, we'll stream the fight if you there.
Yep.
If you record it, we'll put you. We'll go live for you and let you stream it.
Yep. Shout out to B Dog, Zenith, of course, the GOAT, man. I'm waiting for Zenith and Kamal, man, to start y'all channels too, man. I put y'all up there with Upper and Fanon and the rest of them, man. Like, you guys are so educated when it comes to this boxing talk. Shout out to Rome the Plug. Make sure I'm not missing anybody. Who else? Big Dose. Shout out to you, King. Shout out to everybody.
All things.
All things. I had all things. Thank you, all things, for coming in. Aaron Muhammad, as always. D1, my boy. Shout out to you. Shout out to KQKC, the OG Boxing. He calls the fights, you guys. Definitely subscribe to him. Shout out to just everybody that came in. Aunt McQueen, thank you for coming up, sir. Antonio King, thank you, sir. Thank you, King, for coming up. Jose Diaz, it has been an honor. Definitely an honor. Thank you so much for coming on. And tell David Morel, I don't play about him at all. I've said it on this channel several times. I do not play about David Morel. No David Morel slander over here, Mr. Diaz, not while I'm on. So shout out to you.
Can't wait to have that. Can't wait to get him over here to get that interview so everybody can really see his personality and everything.
Yes,
nice
sir. Shout out to Billy Ray Duck, Sweetie Gonzalez, J.A. Dixon. Shout out to you, King. Thank you guys for coming on. It was another one. If you guys are going to the people that did not chime in on the chat or in the panel, if y'all are going to chop and screw this video or take anything from this video, please make sure that y'all say my co-host, one of my day ones who actually got me out of my shell to talk sports with y'all, Upper Echelon. Give him the credit that he deserves. He is doing a heck of a job. Y'all don't know the type of people that he know, but I do, and he is definitely verified, validated. I appreciate him for assisting me on this journey as well, and educating me on so many things. So shout out to you, Upper. Thank you, Mr. Diaz, again. Shout out to the panel. I hope y'all stay blessed and fabulous, man. Keep God first, if that's what you choose to do. God bless you all, families. Yes, sir. God bless you all, families, and I am out.
All right, guys. You guys have a great one.
They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really dripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I get to squeeze and leave a nigga. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really dripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I get to squeeze and leave a nigga bleeding. Raw Molly got got me all up in demon mode. Mouth moving like I done put clean in my nose. Trying to catch me a op, I can leave with some hoes. He standing straight up, watch I make him lean with this pole. Would've thought he was closed, how that heat made him fold. Thought it was a game, he won't think no more. His brain's gone, nigga. It be exciting when I get to striking. Guns sound like thunder, hit you like lightning. Fight for your life, we don't do no fighting. We really hit it, nigga. We worse than savage, they calling us Vikings. Police be riding, we still be sliding. Told you we hitters, remember the time. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really dripping, leaving nigga bleeding. I get the squeeze, leaving nigga bleeding. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really dripping, leaving nigga bleeding. I get the squeeze, leaving nigga bleeding. How about I leave them holding like the Bible? AR-15, that's a high-power rifle. A in the army and assassinate rivals. Break that shit down, nigga. AK or anybody kill him. Hop out, get the drill and the spiller. Stay on point, C2 gon' split him. LPN, that's for any fuck nigga. You a plug, then I'm pulling up, nigga. You my lunch, eating bullet for dinner. 5 boys sell, eat 'em up, eat 'em up. SK, smoke killer for show. Drum rounds and cripple ops, Draco. I got 'em